All right.
You have nothing? Okay.
I believe so. Testing. Just good in. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the voice of the First Lady. We are on time. We changed the time to 7:30 and we made it here. We are here to talk about the Girl Code breakdown. I have my amazing family with me today. I have my niece Jasmine, who is my firstborn niece, and I have my best friend of 47 years, Miss Brandy Burrell, who came in. We're going to talk about some good stuff on today. I also have my assistant in the room. The other Jasmine is here. She's controlling things from behind the scenes to make sure that you can hear us. So let's get right to it. You guys want to get into it?
Let's
Want
get
to get
into
into
it.
it.
Let's
All right, the
go.
girl code breakdown. Why women clash. The reason why I picked this is because I was one of those girls. Thank you for the hearts. I was one of those women that really did not have a bunch of girlfriends, a bunch of women friends, other than like five women that had been my friends since what, like maybe kindergarten.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I have like a lot of male friends just because they were easy to talk to. Not because I liked them or they liked me. They were like my friends, like from high school, and I didn't have to deal with the drama, right? But as I became older, I realized that there is a clash, that things are going on with women that we don't really discuss. And I want to break that. I want to break the cycle of us not being able to bond. I would definitely say that this is my bestie of 47 years, and this is my little bestie. She's not my little broke best friend, though. She's my little bestie, my little niece bestie. And they both have a lot of wisdom. So I just wanted to take this time to let's talk about it. So the girl code is supposed to be a silent agreement, right? I would think. You
Yeah,
think?
I think so.
You think so? Silent agreement, loyalty, protection, support. But the problem is that it has no universal definition. There's no universal definition for the girl code. So every woman grows up with a different idea of what loyalty looks like. I think we kind of grew up um, with the same idea of what loyalty looks like. Jess, I want you to scoot in just a little bit so they can see you. There you go. Something girl code means always taking your friend's side, which I didn't get that luxury as a bestie. I didn't get
No,
that luxury.
no, she
I didn't
didn't.
even like my family. Like my brothers didn't always take my side. My sister didn't always take my side. My mama did not always take my side. We were from the world of accountability. If you were wrong, you were wrong. But some see it as tell me the truth even when it hurts. So that's the group that I'm from. That's definitely the group that she never likes us to tell her, when she's wrong, but she accepts it when she's wrong. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, competition between women. Is it learned or lived? Brandy, you go first.
Is it learned or lived?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Well, hey everybody. First of all, glad to be here. Competition amongst women, is it learned or lived? I would probably say it is a learned behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Based on my opinion, based on how I was raised, based on how I live. I come from a family of very dominant women,
Mm-hmm.
but not dominant to the point where they can't see eye to eye or it's always a clash. I have two sisters, so there were three women in our house as well. And the way we were raised was to support one another, actually. Um, if somebody was in need or you helped them, if they were doing well you encouraged them. So I think the clash with women um, on a competition level is something that's learned, and it's an unfortunate thing that's learned. Now there are women that are taught to be competitive. Oh, she not better than you. You better than her. You can do that better. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about this. And so that becomes a competitive adult. And when you live in those under those guides, it can sometimes prove to be horrible for the person that you become. So, I have three daughters, very close in age, actually. And I always encourage them to support one another, so that they understand they have a support system. No man's an island. A lot of people think that they can go through life by themselves without support. That's not true. We really don't know how much we need people. And you may not find that out until your back is against the wall. So, it's one of those things that I encourage. I've known these ladies, Crystal, of course, my entire life, Jasmine, since she's
Her
been
entire
born.
life.
Yeah, her entire life. And I even think up amongst us as family, extended family, there is a learned also silent thing that they have. Jasmine with my daughters, Jasmine with Kylan, my daughters with Kylan, my daughters with Jazz. It was just a learned thing because it's what we've been taught. It's what they've been taught. And so they're allowed to have that space. They do stuff together and we may not even know. But that's because that's the support system. Mm-hmm. And it's very important to know you have those safe spaces. So that's my opinion.
Jess, what do you think? Competition is learned or lived?
I think it's learned.
Okay.
I think going back to society in a Black culture, we were raised that it could only be one person, one person that's the superstar. You always make I don't know. I was watching a documentary, Eddie Murphy's documentary, and he was in a competition with this other comedian, and like they were like making them enemies because it's like there could only be there's only space for one of you guys. And I think because society has placed that like pressure for women, black people, we kind of bring that into like our everyday life. Like there's only room for only one pretty girl or one educated girl in this whatever space that we're trying to like walk in. And I think it's taught in the homes that like sisterhood, like Auntie Brandy and Auntie Crystal was talking about, like that's taught in the homes. But I think the competition is taught within society just to like really turn us against each other.
Can I add that? I think that is a part of, without being too deep, slave mentality as well.
I didn't want to say it.
I'm gonna say it because, again, we have to learn to get rid of the crabs in the bucket mentality. Yes. I don't have to pull anyone down in order for me to be elevated.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that way. But so many people live by that domineering ideology that they will try to attempt to snatch you down in order for them to go higher. And who is it? Somebody said, or it's out there. If you're gonna make bread, make bread. Mm-hmm. You go in the grocery store, there's 18 brands of wheat bread, but if you want to make wheat bread, you'll be the 19th brand. Mm-hmm. Give the people the choice. And so there's room without people having to be so competitive and to teach that.
So that brings us to the next point, which we have a bunch of points. We probably won't get to all of them tonight, but it brings us to the next point: social media pressure.
Oh gosh.
Social media pressure. Why does she have that I don't? Why is her life moving faster than my life is moving? Why didn't she like my post? What was the caption about me? Right? So we have to learn that I don't even think nowadays, well, I do think that it's programmed in the home, but I just think it's just programmed in the world, period. And I think that's why we have to be very, very careful of what we see. Mm-hmm. And how we're comparing ourselves to one another. There are some things that Brandy can do that I cannot do. There are some things that Jasmine can do because she's of a whole different generation. I consult my niece in so much stuff that I'm doing because she works in PR. I could probably do some stuff, but I can't do it like she does it. She has a whole degree in doing it. Why would I try and compete with that? Right. So I feel like social media gives us a lot of that pressure. And I think really not only in the younger generation, but more so in our generation, like when we're trying to learn social media. The kids always talk about me because I call Instagram Instacart. I don't have a TikTok. I don't. What's the other one? Snapchat. I don't have a Snapchat. I don't know how to use it. But then you have somebody my age that's like a real pretty girl that's on all of this stuff, and they're like really booming and doing things, and it starts to make others compete. And I've just learned from how we were raised or how I was raised. I can't compete with Brandy. Brandy can't compete with me. Jasmine can't compete with me. I can't compete with Jasmine. Collectively, we all have something that we can put in the pot together to make one big amazing thing. It's just the way it is. Like I appreciate my family is so talented. And it's a lot of women in our family. We come from like strong, all three of these families are very like really, really strong families, but the women are really dope. We're like amazing. I'm an amazing woman. Brandy's an amazing woman. Jasmine is an amazing woman. If Jasmine ever thought that she wasn't, she would get in trouble. You know, certain things you can't say on social media, but she would get in trouble. And I just feel like sometimes as women, we need to take the pressure off of yourself. You're not going to be like whoever, Hottie Lolly, Cha Cha Chi Chi, whoever it is on social media. You're not going to be her. You are made to be whoever you are. So we can't clash with each other by trying to be something, first of all, that we're not on social media. There's a lot of portrayal of different things, and that's what make us as women compete as well. You guys want to speak to the social media portion?
I just think there's a deeper issue because
Come on, Jazz.
No, it's just like I think it all comes down to like your insecurity.
Come on.
I feel like you just said, like you don't have a problem outsourcing with Auntie Brandy or like putting Auntie Brandy in whatever position that she can elevate, and like that won't make you feel less than of a woman.
Right.
Auntie Brandy would do the same thing. Yeah. And I feel like it's because you have a strong sense of yourself that competition is not even a thought in your head.
Yeah.
And I think when women are competing with each other is because they are battling with the insecurity, like a different type of insecurity they have, whether it's like, I may not feel worthy enough. So like this person's actually doing what I want to do. So I'm going to be a hater and hate on her, but not do what I need to do to get to where I want to get to. That's similar. So I think it all comes down to insecurity. So I think going back to your original question, can it be taught? Can competition or whatever? I think insecurity can be taught, and insecurity can be learned through the people who are teaching you, how to like how to view women, how to view yourselves. And it's coming down to a sense of worth, sense of self-worth. So if you don't have self-worth, then of course that's going to bleed into other people, and you're going to go on social media. People are getting married. People are, doing six figures in corporate jobs, and you're, you're being the hater word. I just got off of work. My brain is limited right now, but you're going to be a hater because you wish that was you. And yeah, you're not secure within yourself.
So that comes to like validation, right? And I feel like validation sometimes can become a drug.
Well, if you're seeking validation
Yes.
from so many other people, then it definitely is a drug.
Yes.
But it comes from trauma too.
Talk about it.
If you never received validation in your childhood, like if you have daddy issues and your dad never validated you as you're beautiful, you're this, your mom never said this, then of course you're going to seek validation in other people. I'm not trying to get too deep into it, but
I always say
that goes a lot.
Speaking to that point, unhealed children become unhealed adults.
That's the truth.
And so there's two things I want to say. We are not responsible for what we experience. We're responsible for how we respond.
Mm-hmm. Say it again.
We are not responsible for the things we experience. We are, however, responsible for how we respond. So there are things that we go through, things that we experience that can come to totally throw our trajectory off. When you realize it's not definitive of who you are, then you take your mindset and that's how you respond. And it's a good thing to know. We also have to also remember to be content in the state that we're in.
Mm.
Now, if you're in a state of complacency, please don't stay content there. We need to learn to build. But speaking from somebody who was in a state of complacency because of issues, work through those things. You don't have to stay in places that are not meant for you. Mm-hmm. It's like walking in a path and wearing a hole or a groove in the floor because you're not doing the work to go beyond that point. There's work that has to be done at each point. We have to do the work. And we can't do the work if I'm looking at somebody else trying to figure out how did they acquire this? How did they do that? And some of that stuff be borrowed and for rent.
And fake.
And and a knockoff. Okay.
They're just fake body parts.
Well,
all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the
All right.
But what we were saying, like insecurity and identity crisis, is a lot of reason why we as women clash. So I want to admonish the women to like feel great about yourself. Even there are some things that we don't deal with, like the trauma that some people have been through in life. Go get some counseling.
Please.
Yeah, I'm a first lady. So we always say like you need to be saved, you need to be sanctified, you need to be filled with the Holy Ghost. Yes, you need to be saved. You need to love Jesus. You need to do all of those things, but you also God put a therapist here. Like go get some therapy for the things. Some women have been molested at young ages. Some and been done really wrong by like family members, by siblings. You know, there's a lot of things, and you can't work through those things on your own. You can't work through the hurt and the pain because you don't have the tools. If you didn't go to school for it, you don't have the tools. And even when you go to school for it, you still are required by law to get counseling, right? And in an African American community, we do not promote healing in that manner often. So we are definitely admonishing you all to get some counseling, because once you're healed, then you can sit next to your sister who is a six-figure earner, and you might not be earning six figures at the moment, but you can look at that woman and say, man, I want to do something like that. How did she do it? You might not do it the same step or the same way that she did it, but however it's given to you, you can make it too. Like there shouldn't be any clash or any competition. So our next point, I feel, and this goes back into it, like a lack of emotional safety, right? There is a lack of emotional safety with women, period. When we have been through things, I should be able to come and say, man, I was really hurt. But there's no, sometimes with women, we don't want to give safety. Like we want to crush each other. Why? Why does it feel, why do you all think that other women want to see other women down?
Make them feel better about themselves.
And how does it make them feel better about themselves?
I don't know, because I don't have that thought process of
So,
another woman like that.
You got an answer? I got an answer.
I think it's the fact that people have abused vulnerability.
Yes.
So it is extremely difficult to be vulnerable because of the abuse of vulnerability. I should be able to be vulnerable with my sisters. There should be an unspoken safe space. But because people have been hurt and have had those vulnerabilities broken, then I think that's why it's incredibly difficult. Um, if you approached a unhealed person too, then it is always looked upon as an attack versus a conversation.
Yeah, you're judged
immediately. And it may not even be that. But what I've also learned too, now as I've matured, if I need to address something, I need to do it in the moment where I know I'm not upset.
Yeah.
And I think when we think through things and we approach them in the spirit of being level head and try to remove some of the emotion, then it puts us in a much better place. When I in times past, when I would address stuff and I was angry and it just never went right. It never went right. It never came out right. It actually probably made it worse in most cases. So, maturity also says, hey, you don't have to address this right now. Mm-hmm. If you feel that way, you are entitled to that feeling. You are work through it. But you don't have to address it in this moment because it may not resolve what you're trying to resolve.
How do you think conflicts start between women?
Oh gosh. I
The
mean,
tone.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
look, the softest muscle creates the most hurt. Like she
yeah.
said,
Your
the tongue.
tongue,
the tone.
The tongue.
the
But it's
tone,
assumption.
right? Because it's not always truth, right? So I'm a very forward person. If my family is looking, they're probably all like, "Yeah, sometimes too forward." Look, she's looking into the camera like, "Yeah, auntie." But I think sometimes tone does set the stage for misunderstandings, misinterpretation. I feel like sometimes, if you say, "Do I look good?" Brandy and I do this a lot, especially when we're like on the road somewhere. How do I look today? What do I? And if she don't like what she gonna change that. I don't take I don't take I'm not even I don't even know the word. I don't take offense.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I think offense is a choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't take offense to the fact that she's like, no, that color does not go with that, and you need to change that. Or you could see through that. Instead of us, and she might say, girl, please, you can see through that. Change that outfit. You have to realize that if they have enough gall to tell you, right, that something is wrong with you, obviously they care.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the tone. You shouldn't even worry about the tone. You should be like, oh man, she didn't want me going out there with my slip showing, so to speak.
And
right?
It's true because
Yeah.
she'll say, "Oh no, you know what now?
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that."
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong? You don't like it?
No.
But you know why? You know why you don't feel offensive? Because you feel emotionally safe with Auntie Brandy.
Exactly.
So,
but I'm not really offended by.
But I'm saying like we know. I'm saying sorry. I'm saying you're not gonna get offended by someone if you don't feel safe with
Right.
them emotionally.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that is true. That is true. So talk about it, Jazz. When you went to college, let's talk about it. When you went to college, did you feel? Yeah, we know you had
Church
a time.
podcast. My bad.
Yeah.
Did you feel emotionally safe though?
I did.
Okay.
I
And
did.
so you were able to be yourself.
Yes. So the people I met in college, they're my lifelong friends. They're my best friends.
Okay.
But we had to work our way to that point. Like we had to build the trust. We went through our own conflicts. We went through our own situations, but we came back. And like now we feel emotionally safe. Like, yes, I had friends who felt more emotionally safer with men, but we had to go and talk about that as well too. Sorry, I'm reading your notes.
No, you're fine.
But I think going back to emotionally safer with men though, I think that's taught. Because I think the same way how the same way how we can give a guy 10 million chances when he breaks our vulnerability, our trust, or this, and we give him all this grace. It's the same way we can apply that to not a clown. But it's the same way we can apply that to friendships. And I tell that to all my best friends. I'm like, guys, we know this guy is not good for you, but you're still getting the opportunity to trust you. You're still getting the opportunity to like redeem himself. So when we say it's hard to like be vulnerable with women, I think that's a choice. I think that's a choice to a certain extent. I'm not invalidating anyone's opinions or feelings, experiences, but I think we choose that because one, we have been taught that like being with a man is like the ultimate prize, so like we put more emphasis on a man because that's we feel more, I don't know, more,
That's where that competition factor comes in.
Yeah. So
as well.
Let's segue to that real quick. You said being with a man is like the ultimate goal.
I don't feel that way, but
no, I'm saying that some women, yeah, I think if you did a tally and you had 100 people, I would say that 65% would think.
At least.
But you know where that came from?
Yeah.
Church.
No, it didn't come from church.
To a certain extent.
No, because our world is based on church, but the world as a whole is based on like the man chivalry being,
Fair.
the head and all of that stuff. But I feel like with that, let's talk about the dynamic of fighting over men. Why do we clash over men? Why do we clash? I can't say what I want to say, but there are so many billions of men in this world. And why do we clash over one?
Like we're fighting over the same man?
Yeah. Why do women do that?
Is it because the stock is low?
Crabs in a barrel.
You could say it. She wants to say that there's pee in the dating pool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but
So,
no.
I don't think that though. I think that we don't have enough self-worth to think that that one man that they're clashing over, that probably is, you know, not the best, because they wouldn't be clashing if he was like the perfect guy, right? He would make a choice.
But
How
aren't
much
they
can we say
clashing?
here?
You can say whatever you want.
But aren't they clashing to be chosen by the guy that
They're
they
clashing
think?
to be chosen by the guy, but if he would make a choice, there would need to be no clash.
But the
If that makes
competition
sense.
is to prove to him that whatever candidate is worthy of that choice. I don't know, because I never been in that situation.
So let me say
Wait,
it.
Auntie Brandy, sorry.
You go. You go. You go first.
So, in my humble opinion,
Humble.
I really feel in that instance, when it comes to women fighting over men or clashing over a man, if there is one man and the two women are clashing over him, somebody needs to make the decision to walk away. Hopefully,
Yes.
both of them. Don't put me in a predicament where I have to choose how I'm going to feel about you based on somebody else being I don't, the triangle is not good for me. I'm not Phil
What's it
Jackson.
called?
The triangle. I don't need a triangle offense. So what I'm saying is, if you have me in a dynamic and it was me and you, and now there's a third party, don't put me in a situation to have to choose, because now there is a possibility of a clash. Now I may have enough gall to walk away, feelings hurt and all. She may want all the smoke. Again, there's a maturity factor that comes in, because some women just aren't going to leave quietly. Mm-hmm. Some women are going to leave kicking and screaming. Mm-hmm. Some women are going to prove a point before they walk away. And so, at this big age, I'm not gonna fight no woman over no man. Mm-hmm. I'm not. I've learned to be content with Brandy enough to understand that I don't have to do that. It's not necessary at all.
It's too many of them in the world for us to have to clash over one individual.
Statistically, though,
it's still too many of them. I don't care how many of us it is.
The Middle East,
they'll tell you that there is one man for every five women. Statistically, I don't know if that's a right statistic, Jasmine. Jazz, you go verify that for us. But if you want, that's what it seems like in this day and age. That the pickings are slim, as they would say back in the day. But I don't care how slim they are. The time and the energy spent fighting you for a man would be absolutely insane to me. So but it still is happening every day.
So because you said the pickings are slim, right? My question to us as women, if the pickings are slim, why not be content with yourself?
Or why not go back to the Old Testament?
And what's that mean?
They have many wives.
Get her off the podcast.
Cut the cameras.
It's over.
Show's over.
She's being funny. She is really being funny.
To a certain extent.
No.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
We are not. Because if she had a husband that had many wives, it would be a problem.
Because Father Abraham had many sons. And I'm going to have many.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Jesus.
But
we're working on her back.
I do feel like we clash over stuff that we can do without. And so I'm not saying I can't do without Gary Parks. Let me say that now.
That's
hi husband. I can't do without Gary Parks. But at the end of the day, outside of Gary Parks, before there was a Gary Parks and a Crystal Parks, I had to learn for myself that I'm not about to fight a woman over a man, because I'm just better than that. I'm better than that. And it had to get to the point where there was an understanding to say, If he not gonna make no choice, then go on about your business, right? So I feel like we dummy down who we are. Like, I'm a professional woman. I'm not no ugly girl. We not no ugly women. We carry ourselves well. Know who you are, know your worth, and then you don't have to clash with the other woman. Because if she's pretty and I'm pretty and she's pretty, we're just three pretty people. And nobody has to make a choice that we're pretty. We just know who we are. So we need to stop as women clashing in that point, like with the competition, with like unrealistic expectations. There is so many expectations that we as women put on ourselves that cause us to clash with each other, right? I'm not where she is in life. I don't have kids yet. I'm not married yet. I don't have nice, expensive clothes. I'm not driving a nice car. Or what? What is a nice car?
Yours.
What's a nice car? Is it a Maybach? Is it a Bentley? Or is it just a nice car? My daughter is 27 years old. She just got like her halfway dream car. She got this Jeep Wrangler electric thing car that she has that she just absolutely loves. But she was so content and simple with just her little Toyota Corolla because it could get her what from point A to point B. We have to stop measuring ourselves to what other people have and just be happy. Like, I remember when I got a new car, Brittany was like so excited for me. She was like, "Oh, you got a new car, you got a new car." My husband and I just bought a house. Nobody's mad. We celebrating. Like, I think my family is like, why she hasn't invited us over to the house yet? It's like there's no competition. There's expectation. The unrealistic expectation to me is that we do have to compete. The realistic expectation is I should be happy that my friend leveled up. I might not be where she's at. I might not be where Brandy is yet, but I'm watching her level up and I'm appreciative to that. Maybe I can take a nugget from that. And we need to stop clashing on that point. Like, how do we become, if we're supposed to be, we birth things into this world. We birth babies, we birth businesses, we birth ideas. There's so much that we do. Like, we're all powerful and it's not equally the same. We are all powerful. So we should celebrate instead of hate on each other, right? So I feel like there's a lot of healing in sisterhood that needs to happen. Um, I think healing first comes with a conversation. I could tell our business because we on here. Brandy and I didn't talk for a while, maybe a year, 2 years, maybe
Almost two.
almost 2 years. We didn't talk for almost 2 years. I don't even now remember why. Do you remember?
No, and when either? When was it?
It was like when know the date. I don't know the date of the other thing. Whatever year that was. There's a date that I never remember.
2007. So before
Okay.
oh seven.
So before '07, we did not talk. And I mean, she is like really my other half. It's like three of us. It's myself, Brandy, and her mother. We are like this. And it's really like this. Her mom is the angel. She's a little bit more of an angel. And I'm the angel now. I was not the angel before. And so we all helped each other. Her mother helped us all grow.
Yeah.
Lord, I
Amen.
thank God for the angel of Tanya Renee. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Tanya. Oh,
She's
she helped
watching
us grow.
too.
She's watching. I hope she is. Hi, sister. Um, but I just feel like we had to come to a realization. We were at this special occasion that I had that I still can't remember the date today, so I never should have had that special occasion. But we were there and we took the time to have a conversation, right? Instead of not talking. Right? It was like I was sad that I didn't talk to my best friend for almost 2 years. Like, I still really don't remember why we did not talk. But we took the time because she was important enough to me. I was important enough to her to have a conversation to say, man, what happened? Where did we go wrong? Why? like I want you a part of my life. She had just had my nephew. She had just had her son.
Mm.
I'm like, he's not about to grow up without me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm amazing. Look, what? He's not about to grow up without his auntie Christo. And it was just like we had to talk it out.
Yeah.
So many times as women, and I want to speak to this. We like I'm going through menopause. I'm perimenopausal. Y'all claim so much stuff on your life. Yes, you might be going through stuff. Look at Jasmine. She's like, auntie, but sometimes it's real. It's true. You might be going through some of that stuff, but is it like your mark in your life? Like, does it control you? Like, or do you control yourself, like with the help of God? Like, I'm sweating all the time. I don't. Thank the Lord. I asked the Lord that I didn't want to go through none of those symptoms. And praise the gods that at what, 47, I don't have any of that. I am so thankful for it. But for all my friends out there that are having like sweats and perimenopausal symptoms and all of that stuff, that should not be your excuse for acting up. Like, I'm perimenopausal. I don't have time today for that. How about saying I'm not in a great mood today because I'm going through some stuff, but I want to come back to that because you're more special to me than what I'm going through right now, but I just need to get over the hump and we need to talk about it. She just had a baby. I couldn't be like, this is it, or, whatever it was. We had to talk about the situation. We couldn't allow the situation to cause our friendship not to be. My niece was young. She was cutting up one time. We didn't talk for a little bit. Look at her. She's like, auntie. We didn't talk for a little bit. But as she got older, she realized, like, man, I need my circle of love. Like, we love her. She is so spoiled. She is the biggest brat on the face of the earth.
We love her.
But she knew, like, my aunties, my mom, my dad, my sisters, my brother, whoever, like, this is my circle and I can't not talk to them because they don't agree because I'm growing up as a teenager. We have to learn, but we have to exemplify that so we don't create these little creatures in the next generation that are unruly, and now everybody is hating everybody. It's the culture that we're creating. And I hate that word, the culture. I don't really like it. I'm sorry. Jasmine's gonna be like, Auntie,
I'm
you
so
can't
sorry.
say that. I don't like that word. I feel like life should be life. We shouldn't have to just cater to one thing. Like, we all should be one big melting pot, and it should be about like love. And if you have that in your family, there won't be a clash. So if you haven't had it, you need to break the cycle and start to get it. Like, start healing, start loving. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
That word, I'm picking back off that word. We were taught that there are moments in time where you can agree to disagree.
Right.
And that's a part of the human experience, right? We all have differences of opinions. We don't always like the same thing. I mean, and our taste isn't just in our mouth, but if you want to use that analogy, then we don't all eat the same thing.
Right.
So there's going to be a difference of opinion. I don't have to hurt her though, because our opinions aren't the same.
Respect the boundary.
I mean, and that's in its most simplistic form. Unfortunately, people don't always operate in that, and so, that's just one of those things. We can agree to disagree, and leave it as such, and not break a bond, and not act a fool. None of that. But I'm gonna go back really quick. Some relationships are worth mending.
And some are not.
And some, and I won't even say irreparable, I'll just say not worth mending. There's some relationships that are, you fix, you move on, and that it just was us. You don't keep taking it back to that point. You don't keep bringing it up. Oh, like this is probably the first time I think I've heard or we've even talked about
In
the
years.
fact, yeah, like literally that we had
It's
that
literally
moment.
over 18 years ago.
No, Ashton's 18.
Yeah.
That time where we didn't speak to one another, and it was a period in time. It could have been a part of growth. We were changing and going through and doing different things as women and mother and wives, and so that could have been it. But there's some relationships that need to be fixed. Some relationships you don't just leave in the gutter and just say, you know what, this happened and get over it. I don't like that kind of attitude. Um, and I say that to say this. I know this may not be a religious point like that we're experiencing on the platform at this moment, but I will say this. I want to make sure that if I have something in my hand, figurative, literal, and I'm to give it away, that I do what God has called me to do. I don't want to go with something in me that was purposed for somebody else because I didn't mend the fence, that I didn't take the time to to fix the broken thing. And and then sometimes space and time, you allow that to make it worse. Yes. And so again, you may not need to deal with it right then because you're angry, or the way that it may come across, your tone, the delivery may be off. But don't let so much time go by that you've allowed yourself to create a narrative, or that person either. And so you get now in this point. I mean, things are changing so rapidly in our world. We don't want things to fester that don't need to fester. Let's fix them while we can, while it's easier to fix, while it's still even palatable, and then you move forward. And it's to me just the easier way to go through life at this point. So I'm in the mindset, if I've done anything to offend you, I apologize. And if I've offended you and I may not know it, come tell me so I can make it right, please. Because I don't want to walk around thinking that I'm good and I've actually done something to offend someone. And I'm approachable. I'm not just saying that just to say it. I mean it. If you're watching and you know me, I've done something, please, by all means, that I may not be aware of, let me know. Because I would definitely want to fix it. You may not have to take me to get a steak or anything like that ever again. But at least I know. Yeah, she gonna take me. She gonna take me. At least I know I fixed it, and I mean that from my heart.
Well, that was one of my notes. Apologize without excuses. Like, I'm sorry, but
No.
Like, when you said this to me, no, I apologize. Whatever our beef is, I apologize. You're important to me. Can we heal? Um, I did not mean to come off this way. There was a time when I was a hellion when I was young. Like, I would just bust you in the chin if you made me mad. It was just what it was. Look at Brandy's face. Lying. I'm not lying. No, I'm not lying. And it would there was no I'm sorry. And if somebody would say, Crystal, they said that to you and that caused you to hit them, yes, it did, because it hurt my feelings. Are you going to apologize? No. I've learned that approach was not a good approach. I learned that. I learned that approach was not a good approach. Maturity. Yeah, you have to mature and feel like, man, if I hurt somebody, I don't want so much, especially in 2025. Like, there is so much death going on right now. People are leaving this earth. I mean, they've been leaving daily, but it's like, 5 or 6 people that have died in 1 week now in 2025. It's crazy. You do not want to leave here and you didn't get it right with somebody, or you don't want somebody to leave here and you did not get it right with them. Women, we need each other. It's a lot going on in this world that we're contending with. Like, we're now women in business. Back in my mom's day, if you were a woman in business, you weren't necessarily frowned upon, but they weren't helping you either. There's women in business. We're doing so much. We're birthing babies. It's just so much that we're doing. We don't need to be frowning upon each other. Like, if I've done something, or if you've done something, apologize. You don't want somebody to leave here and you be like, man, we were fighting and I never got it right. Funny side story, or funny and sad side story. When I was at my brother's house when I was younger, I was pregnant with little Pat. I was 19. And my niece's cousin made me mad. He was a boy. And she doesn't even remember this because she was like little. I literally jumped on top of his head and tried to annihilate him. And we got that together, I think a little bit later. And like he became like my cousin. But he passed away.
Oh.
I'm so happy that I didn't hold that in my heart because that would have been something that really hurt me, right? That's a woman and a man. But what if that was a woman and a woman, like your girlfriend, your friend? It is it that serious? Is it really that serious for you to harbor so much hate in your life and in your mind that you really can walk past somebody and not talk? How does that make you feel? Why do you feel great? You need to ask yourself, like, why do I feel good when I pass Jasmine that I don't speak to her? Why does that feel good to me? Or why do I not care?
It's your ego.
Yeah, why do you have that much ego? Why do you have that? And why are you okay with being that mean, being that angry, being that frustrated? There's so much going on. I wanted to talk about like the healing of our body, right? Not just like our mind, but when we carry stuff, it's so tough. Like there's cancer, right? I worked in a cancer establishment for many years. And the one thing that they said was 9 times out of 10, people that beat cancer are happy individuals. Like they strive, even though they're having pain and they're hurting and they're not understanding like why they're going through this, they're still taking it in stride the best way that they can. And some people just give up on life. Breast cancer is one of those things. Some women have a mark in their body and it's been there when they go back. They've seen this x ray for years. Like that spot was there 15 years ago. But the minute that they find out about it, they get sick and they die. Some of that, I believe in what my mother used to say. My mom used to say, harboring all of that unforgiveness and ill will make your body sick. Ladies, we have to heal. This goes to men too. You can't be out here beefing with your bro. I hate that word, bro. But you cannot be out here beefing with your brother or your sister just because of your big head, your ego. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So, how do we heal? What are some of the nuggets that you can give you guys before we close on how to heal?
I say one of the factors is scripture reference, Proverbs 16:18.
Uh-huh.
Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a
Before a
fall.
fall.
Pride literally will destroy you. You have to do away with pride. And it's something about carrying that and not allowing, first of all, pride will, if it's destroying you, you know it's destroying relationships.
Hmm.
Fix that within so you can learn how to go out and fix those things outside of yourself. But if you are unhealed and there's things in your life that you need to repair, start with you. And if you don't necessarily know how to start, if you're afraid to reach into those places that you just have put at the back of behind your heart that you don't want to deal with, seek the Lord. Seek
Yeah.
God. And the
Seek him
people,
while what?
while he may be found. And the funny thing about it is the Holy Spirit is so amazing. Even when you don't know where to start, if you ask him to lead and guide you, he will give you where to start. He may have a conversation be struck up. You may overhear something. Something may come up on the radio that causes you to say, you know what, I
I need
haven't
to fix
tried
that.
that.
Yeah.
Let me start here. It's something that's attainable. You don't gotta die. You don't have to die like that. You don't have to die mean and hateful and surly. And it's so important because I think when you heal, you show up as the best version of you.
Yes.
Why not always want to be the best version of you? And a healed version of you should show up as the best version of you.
Mm.
That's my take. That's how I feel it happens. I had to work on me. I had to do some self-reflecting. I had to go inside. I'm like, Brandy, what ain't working with you?
Mm-hmm.
What's not good? What is causing you to be unhealthy? What is causing you? So there's things that we work on that we have to do. You got to do your homework. And you may not know where it originated, but if you start to work on those things, you can pull out those things that have actually rooted within yourself that don't need to be there anymore. It
Mom,
works.
That was good.
that is. My mom used to say, when you don't like another woman, what is it that that you have that's just like her that causes you not to like
Yeah,
her?
what do you see in her?
Yeah, you gotta
That's you.
figure that thing out. Because 9 times out of 10, that's really the problem. It's something in you that she has that you don't like, that she's doing better or she's doing more. Just be you.
Mm-hmm.
Be you. Celebrate instead of hate. Celebrate each other. Let's learn to love each other. If I see you coming up, man, sis, I seen you do that. That was so great. Not, I'm gonna try and do this because she did this and I can do it better. If God has given you something or he's giving you an idea, execute it to the best of your ability.
Amen.
Don't execute it. Don't try and execute it to be better than the other woman. We got to love each other. We got to come together. We got to work together. We got to network. When I try and I have like all of these creative ideas, there is no way that I can do everything that I do without the help of others that are better than stuff. My niece is good at PR. My sister is good at marketing. My assistant at church, my admin assistant, she is the best organizer I have ever met in my entire life. She has organized my whole thought process.
Amen.
Look, my niece is sick of me. She's like, I'm so happy they sent her, God sent her somebody.
We need other people to survive. No man's an island.
No man is an island.
Speaking of survive,
go ahead.
we talk about death a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's also important because, like, you don't want to be at someone's funeral and just feel like guilty.
Yes.
You know, like you actually want to go and celebrate.
Yes.
You know, or just
Without
like,
regret.
or like not, be restricted to go.
Yeah,
to
no
funeral.
regrets.
Yeah.
No regrets.
And that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now they're gone and you have to literally live with that. That can kill you, whether people want to admit it or not. Guilt and shame can take you down into a place that you didn't anticipate because you didn't work through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you said that because I try not to live with regret. But there's so many situations and people die and they take part of the solution with them and you're left with the unresolved portion. So yeah.
In a way, though, I kind of like that. But yes, God is working on me.
Well, no,
You're gonna get there.
He will.
You're gonna get there.
You acknowledged it, so let the work begin.
Right. So when you are acknowledging it, one of my notes said offer honesty.
Okay.
With love. Right.
Yeah.
This is the way it made me feel, and I'm sorry. Not you owe me something because you hurt me. No, this is the way it made me feel. Apologize, move on, and we got to learn to operate from a healing place. Do you want to be healed or do you just want to walk around wounded? Because there's a whole bunch of us that look like one big fat band-aid. And you do.
What is wrong with you?
You do. You look like a band-aid. It's just, I'm always got a problem.
Like a band-aid.
I'm hurt.
I don't want to.
I'm hurt. I always have a problem. No.
Jasmine, I don't want to look like a band-aid.
Yeah. Somebody said something. Oh, First Lady Kemp is on here. I cannot see the I thought I could see the comments. Let's see if we can see some comments.
Can you see the comments?
Jazz, can you see the comments?
What are they saying?
Oh, there they go. Yeah. We need people. So good. Yes, ma'am. 1 Corinthians. Get this. I want to get this. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. Let me get that. We're going to take this time as we end the broadcast to go through some of the comments, and we're going to actually talk about it. It says, thank you, Father God, for your love, for your Holy Spirit. Oh, that's
my cousin.
Yeah, that's Rhiannon.
13 and what? I'm sorry.
4 through 7.
13, 4 through 7.
I have it.
Childhood trauma. Okay, so this is some of them. Thank you, ladies, for this. This is
Oh yeah, this is good. I want to read this.
we'll have to read these and maybe do like a recap of our comments. You know, maybe we can all dial in and do like a recap of the comments. But ladies, I want you to heal. I want us to be whole because I feel like sometimes we have so much greatness on the inside of us, but you can't get it out because you're not healed. And healing doesn't look like I'm over the situation, right? Sorry for putting my hand right there. I'm over the situation. See how I said sorry for putting my hand right there? Because I realized that I'm talking and she's in my hands view in the camera. But we have to realize that sometimes just saying it makes you healed. And someone acknowledging your feelings, that's a marital topic. Someone acknowledging your feelings, that helps to make you whole, right? So women, let's work on that. Let's start to bond on a level of lifting people up. My husband has a saying. He says, never look down on a brother or a sister unless you're reaching down to pick them up. You know, so what does that look like to you? Do you just keep your foot on somebody, or do you really reach down and say, man, my sister's having a bad day today. She might not be the mean grumpy goose that I think she is right now. Maybe she's just going through something. We don't always have to clash. We definitely need to learn how to love, but we got to learn how to love us first before you can love anyone else. Let's start to promote self-healing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to read First Corinthians because it just does.
Love suffers long. Come
It
on.
does. It spins right off of that comment. So First Corinthians 13:4. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It's not puffed up. Does not behave rudely. Does not seek its own. Is not provoked. Thinks no evil. 6. Does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth. 7. Bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things.
That's what? What's that called?
Love.
It's called love. And who is the epitome of love?
Oh, Jesus. God is love.
It said God is love.
God is love.
God is love. That's who He is. How can we walk around? Let me hit it on the church level right now, since this is the voice of a first lady.
Yes, ma'am.
How can you walk around and say you're a Christian and you're so mean and surly? Period. That's male or female. How can you say that? God is the epitome of love. She told you everything that love was and everything that love was not. We have to learn to love, but I can't love her if I don't love me.
Especially as representatives of Christ. We can't win people if they don't see love.
Yeah.
What the song, what the world needs now, it's love.
Love, sweet love. It's the only, I don't know no word.
Thing.
Camilla's on here. She's gonna be like, here she goes, not know no words. There you go.
It's literally, God is love. But when the song came out, it was important because it's such a factor in relational dynamic.
Yes.
Spouse, friendship, sisterhood, brotherhood, mom and mother and children, father and children. Love is the absolute dynamic of relational. It's the base. It's the base of relationships. And so it's very, very important.
First Lady Kemp says something. She says, why don't, and I don't have on my glasses, so I'm gonna read it the best I can. Why don't we as women give each other grace? Why don't we as women give each other grace? Because we competing.
It's the insecurity.
Because we mad at ourselves for the stuff that we allowed ourselves to go through. I got a whole book. And if God did not heal me, I would be a mean, surly woman at 47 years old. So that's why it's so hard to give grace, because we don't forgive us first. So then you holding on to what you allowed yourself to go through. So now you can't give grace to your sister.
Forgive yourself.
Can
Yeah,
that be tied into how your relationship with Christ is though? Like
absolutely.
if you're like competing and everything with other women, is not a reflection of where you are on your, I don't know, that thought just came in my mind. Like it's a reflection of your journey, your walk with God.
Well, I mean, in maturity, you have to learn that He extended you grace. So grace needs to be
Yeah.
extended. And I'm glad First Lady Kemp brought that up because grace, yeah, I've been heavy on it lately. Extend grace. People need grace.
We
People
all
need
need
grace.
it.
We need grace, but it's so limited, and it
Yeah.
should be it should be a first factor.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be an afterthought. People need grace, so we need to learn how to extend grace. That will also build the sisterhood. That will build the bonds.
But how many times can you give grace to someone who's doing, if I'm repeatedly hurting you, repeatedly doing this, how many times are you going to give me grace because God is giving us unlimited grace?
So
So the Bible says,
where we
I'm
go?
just saying, I'm just
the
asking.
Bible
Yeah,
says that you have to forgive 70 times 70. That means you got to continue to do it over and over again. And the Bible also tells you that when God forgives, he puts it into the sea of forgetfulness.
Mm-hmm.
So if God is your father, you have an inheritance and a responsibility to give somebody grace and forgive.
So if you give me grace, does that give you the opportunity to still put me in your life, or are you going to compartmentalize me into
I think it
whatever?
depends on the offense.
it does.
Okay.
I think it depends on the
absolutely
offense.
does.
I don't feel like this is my personal feeling. If someone has done something detrimental to my life, I'll if somebody slept with my husband or my husband slept with someone
You're dead. Oh,
that,
sorry.
oh Lord
Sorry.
Jesus, she
Sorry.
unaliving people on the thing. If someone did that, I have a responsibility to forgive them. And I choose, it's my choice, I believe, to be nice, like, be like, hey girl, let's go to eat. That's not necessarily, you're still human.
Mm-hmm.
You're still human. So there are boundaries.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to have healthy boundaries. But I want to talk about that real quick before we go, because we're about to go, because we've been on here for an hour and 2 minutes. Um, if there is somebody that has offended you and you allow them, a healthy boundary is okay. It doesn't mean that you don't have to talk to them ever again, but you got to be careful of what you talk to them about, right? I can't give you every detail that's going on in my life because you've taken some of my secrets that I trusted you with and you've thrown them to the wind. We don't have to clash though. I can still speak to you in love. I can still hug you. I can still say hello. I can still be in the same room with you. God is still working on that with me. There's some places that I just don't want to be because people are just nasty. And I feel like, as Brandy would say, at this old age, if you're gonna be nasty, I don't need to be around you. That's just me because that's your choice that you don't want to be around. But when I see you, I can still speak to you in love and say, "Hey, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day today," and mean it from the bottom of my heart. I can mean that. So I feel like healthy boundaries are always good, even when displaying grace with someone that has hurt you. Kelly said, grace and forgiveness doesn't mean we have to continue to allow people in our space. We can hold to our boundaries and also forgive.
Amen. Yeah.
So look at
Yes.
Bridget. Hey, Bridget, BB Daniel.
Love you, BB.
We love you.
And
So,
and also, real quick, if I can say this, the grace is for you.
yeah.
I mean,
for the other person.
I mean, and it can't be for the other person,
But
but
it's
it's
really
for
for
you.
you.
And then in extending the grace as well, we extend the grace because we need to extend the grace. We don't have to allow people to continue to offend, though.
Exactly.
So I'm not extending you grace and forgiveness so that you can come back and keep doing this
Doing
to
the
me.
same thing. That's called
Now,
insanity.
it is. Pastor Darnell Weaver, Atherton Baptist Church, he says, you forgive, but you don't got to sit at the dinner table with
Period.
them.
I don't sit down at
We
the dinner
forgive
table.
as Christ has forgiven, but we're not going to
Your dad's
Fleming's.
probably
We don't
watching
have to
this.
sit. We
Look
don't
at
have
her.
to sit there and share in a meal. And that's just because at that point, that's fake.
Yeah.
But you do forgive so that that grace that has been so freely given to you, you freely give just like Christ did.
Mm.
Okay. I love
I ain't
y'all.
gotta go to church on Sunday.
So, in closing, I want you guys to know that sisterhood is a choice, unity is intentional, and healing is possible. So, if we heal you all, our families will heal. Even though the man is positioned as the head in a marriage, we're the ones that can bring a calm to everything. So if we heal, our families will heal. It will trickle down because once your kids see you healing, then they'll learn how to do it as well. Or they'll inquire, like, hey, this happened to me. How do I do it? So let's be intentional about loving our sister, about loving our brother. David, yes, this will be online. It will stay on here. We'll be back next week. This will be um, a bi-weekly podcast, a bi-weekly live. However, because of the holidays, I'm going to come back next week and we'll do the voice of the First Lady on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll give you the information to where the podcast will be uploaded to. We wish you grace. We wish you peace. We ask God's covering to be upon your life. We ask that we hope that something that you heard here today helps you heal. We hope that there were some nuggets that you were able to take. We want to thank everybody for joining in and tuning in to our first episode. Thank you. Thank you to my co host. Thank you to Brandy. And thank you to Jasmine. And thank you to my wonderful assistant, Jasmine, who is sitting behind the scenes with these earpods. She is so, I feel like I'm on Channel 5 right now.
She did that.
I really she did that.
She did.
So I want to give her big props to her. So until next week at 7 o'clock. Next week we're gonna be at 7 o'clock. We got all the cords we need. I left some of the cords at home, but we got them all now. We working, we ready, we know what we're doing. Thank you for joining us on our first episode of The Voice of the First Lady. We will see you all next Wednesday. We love you with the love of the Lord.
Peace.